All right, Bears fans, welcome back and bear down. Again, the meaning of that is to move forward with a purposeful direction, clear direction. That's what the Bears are doing. So I am relenting. I'm doing what you guys asked me to do. A couple of you have commented that you want me to do a no-trade mock draft. You want to see if I would still pick Marvin Harrison Jr. number 1 overall if we don't trade down. And it's possible teams like Ryan Poles would do that, where they have the slip a piece of paper in their pocket and they say no matter what. It's possible that could happen. Before I go too deep into it, if you guys haven't checked out some of my other content, I really like some of the other stuff I do with analytics. So if you haven't checked out my previous drafts analysis that I just ended up finishing doing, or my player positions for going over each position of the Bears, check those out. There's some good stuff in those. I like to try to provide some different content other than just mock drafts. Check them out. Love for you to have you do so. All right, so let's get into this no-trade mock draft. With the first overall pick, I still have the Bears picking Marvin Harrison Jr. He's too dynamic to pass up on. You can't pass up on him when the Bears need a true X receiver, 6'4", with the speed, the length, the high point that he does, how he doesn't ever drop a ball. He's exactly what we need. Calvin Johnson 2.0. If you have the opportunity to take him, you don't pass up on Calvin Johnson 2.0. So Marvin Harrison Jr. coming to the Bears. Number 2, might surprise some of you, but this is a Ryan Poles type of thing to do. A lot of people didn't expect Darnell Wright to go as high as number 10 last year for the Bears. But with Jackson Powers Johnson, he's that elite guy that you don't pass up on, and it's a definite need for the Bears. He's climbing boards more and more. We started talking about him back when he was behind other centers, and we, talked about him when others weren't considering him elite, and then he's gone to the Senior Bowl, and now the secret's out, and everybody wants Jackson Powers Johnson, but he's one of those guys that you also write down the slip a piece of paper no matter what, because he is, I'm going to use it, bear down for it, generational. Jackson Powers Johnson really is, though. He allowed one, the singular number 1. Nobody else did this in college football. In fact, I should go back and look how many years it's been someone did do that. But one sack hit or hurry, one pressure total the entire year. That's absolutely unheard of. And it's not like he's in a baby conference. He's in the Power 5, playing for the Pac-12. He is a big reason Bo Nix was so successful. Jackson Powers Johnson is a definite must-have for me. And if we have to pick him at 9 instead of picking him at 15 or 16 or 20 or wherever we could trade down to, of course I'm in favor of trading down and still getting him. But if Ryan Poles picks him at 9, I am not upset one bit. All right, Javon Bullard to me is a steal if we get him at 75. And I'm going to tell you guys, I used PFF for this one. I didn't use Adam. I wanted to see where PFF stood. So I'll post that at the end of this, where the PFF simulator had on all of these. But by now you guys are used to my nerdy analytics that I like to use. And here's what you need to know about Javon Bullard, who should never make it to the 3rd round. If he does, the Bears have to steal him. Don't worry about those red things up top, 5'10", 197, 8 and 6/8 hands, arm of 30 and 5/8. Not everything matters with every position. Javon Bullard is a ball hawk, all right? He had multiple pass breakups, multiple interceptions, but the things I really look at when you guys go over my breakdowns, low missed tackle percentage, and he had an NFL passer rating against him as a safety, so this is even more elite, of 35.3. That's crazy. That is absolutely top tier. I would be very happy if we selected Javon Bullard if he fell to the 3rd round. All right, my 4th round pick, I don't see him falling to 110. I don't see any way that happens. There's no way that happens. But you guys know I love Cade Stover by now. To me, he's one of the top tight ends in this class to me. The biggest things I love about Cade Stover is that he's a bruiser. He's an absolute mauler. That blocking grade, whatever, it's college. That's going to be different in the NFL. He's going to be a blocking tight end with hands. He literally doesn't ever drop a pass. Cade Stover is a guy that would fit in very nicely in Shane Waldron's offensive schemes with 12 personnel sets. He would be very valuable. So he's a converted linebacker. He's tough as nails. He doesn't drop balls, and he goes for contested catches. Cade Stover, to me, is someone that we need to target in high third round. Make sure that we snag him before any other team gets him. I think he's undervalued in this draft class. I think a lot of analysts aren't seeing how good he is. Quarterback rating when targeted 133.5. That is stellar. Cade Stover's a must for me. All right, Muhammad Kamara is someone I'm mixed on. Biggest reason, because he comes from a small school. He comes from the Mountain West. And that doesn't always mean a negative thing, but some of his biggest stats came from small schools that small schools play. So Middle Tennessee, who is not in the Mountain West, big stats against. Utah Technical College, not even smaller than the Mountain West. But then his biggest games against Nevada and UNLV. So, there was some decent competition there. Nevada was fighting it out or UNLV was fighting it out for the Mountain West Conference. They ended up playing in the championship game and went to a bowl game for the first time. So, but he does have an elite sack, hit, hurry rate. Once every 5 plays, a sack, hit, or hurry. So he's not a scrub. He's not nothing. But he also makes me worry with, a little bit shorter stature, a little smaller in weight, a little smaller in some of his wingspan and things like that. He does have some good moves, but they say he lacks in mixing it up. He's kind of predictable. And his tackling's a little suspect. He's not the best tackler. He has a very high missed tackle percentage in the 20s. So to me, that's suspect. But the nice thing is DeMarcus Walker is a very nice complementary defensive end. A lot of people undervalue him, and they shouldn't. I've put it on my videos before. Pre-Montez Sweat and post-Montez Sweat, there's a huge difference. And that's how DeMarcus Walker works. He's not your elite guy. He's not going to command the defense. But he's a great role player, and he does have good stats per snap in the NFL. So to me, this might be the route we go with edge. A lot of us, including myself, have wanted a top-tier edge in this class because we want that elite status. We want the guys bookending, and we've already paid for one. But with DeMarcus Walker, it might be a better route to go someone complimentary because Darius Robinson, not Darius, I'd love to have Darius Robinson. You guys know that. Dominique Robinson on our current team isn't really cutting the bill. All right, so with 146, here's another guy you guys need to know about. This is Walter Rouse, offensive tackle from Oklahoma, transfer from Stanford, and he's undervalued in this draft. If we can snag him at 146, that is the ideal situation to have a rotation. He's another Braxton Jones. I'm going to tell you that right now. They say his weakness, it depends on the source you're looking at. It's really mixed with him. And they say his weakness is pass blocking. But then if you look right here from Draft Buzz, they're saying his weakness is run blocking. But a lot of scouts are saying that if he's a run blocking tackle that can go out and get the hits on the run, then he's more powerful. But the truth is his pass blocking is elite. He's right there with Jackson Powers Johnson as far as sacks, hits, and hurries allowed. He's only allowed 1.1% this year. 5 total the entire year, which is also unheard of, especially the tackle position. So Walter Rouse is being undervalued, and I guarantee you this is a guy that Ryan Poles is keying in on and watching. And if our 5th-round pick, if he's not picked by 145 really what it should be, but PFF says it's 146. 145, and we don't know, honestly, because part of that is the compensatory picks that haven't been released yet, so we'll find out. But if Walter Rouse is there, guys, stealing Walter Rouse at 145, 146 would absolutely be a steal for swing tackle. He wouldn't start over Braxton Jones, but he would be very, very high upgrade over Larry Borom, which is what I want. I just want that to be upgraded so when someone has to come out or when someone's injured or something happens, we have elite guys coming in. All right, so here is what PFF said about my draft. Marvin Harrison Jr. is an A, obviously. They gave me an F for Jackson Powers Johnson because they say he's 22 on their big board. But like I said, no matter what. So if you're taking him at 9, I'm not upset one bit. I'm not going to say that's an F grade. Maybe analysts will, but you saw what the Lions did with Jahmyr Gibbs. And yeah, I scrutinized that a little bit, but it ended up working for them. Same with Sam Laporta. Same type of thing. But guys, when you see a guy that's elite, if you take him at 9 and he's worth 9, then it makes it work. So that's not an F grade. Javon Bullard is an A grade at 75. Sorry, PFF, you're wrong. Cade Stover is not a C grade. So they don't always know. In fact, this to me would be an elite mock draft for the Bears at not trading down. If the Bears ended up with this and didn't trade down once, I would be surprised because Ryan Poles does trade down and we have more needs. We have 16, 17 pieces we really need to upgrade. And you can't do that with $70 million in cap space. You can't. You absolutely can't upgrade all those positions. So we are going to trade down. And I think most likely trade down from 1 and from 9 and still get Marvin Harrison Jr. and still get Jackson Powers Johnson. So this isn't my ideal scenario. This isn't realistic to me. So that's why I hesitated in doing the no trade down mock draft. But, I'm going to say that, but if we did do this and this is what we ended up with, I'm a very happy Bears fan. Honestly, I'm very happy. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know how you like it, what you would do differently if we didn't trade down at all. That's the scenario for this one. So if we didn't trade down, let me know what you would do. I think this is right in line with where Ryan Poles is and what we're doing, but I want to hear your guys' comments. So if you haven't, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, why haven't you? And until next time, bear down.